going on in here? What is that?
Where did you get a drink?
I told you I had my checkup today.
Boy, you and that doctor, I thought he told you not to drink.
One drink. One will not hurt you. Anyway, everything was all normal, and he sent you his best.
Oh, well, that's nice. The dealer will be here any minute if you want to take anything.
Oh, God, here it all is again.
Yeah, the cleaning woman did a nice job.
Yeah, it never used to be so clean. Make you feel funny?
No, why? What?
Time.
Yeah, I know.
Something just seems so different about it, that's all.
No, it's all the way it was. I had my desk and my cot on that side. Everything else is the same.
Well, maybe it's just that it was always so pretentious to me, kind of bourgeois, but I guess it does have some character. Some of it's in style again, I guess. It's surprising.
Well, do you want anything?
Oh, I don't know if I'd want any of it around. It's also massive. I don't know where we can put any of it. That chest is lovely, though.
That was mine. Walters is behind you, they're fair.
Oh, yeah, did you get hold of him?
I called the office, yes. The nurse said he was in consultation.
But was he in the office?
The nurse said it doesn't make any difference, as long as he's notified so we can get on with it.
Well, what about his share? I mean, I hate to be a pest, Vic, but there could be some real money here. You aren't going to raise that with him, are you?
I've changed my mind. I don't feel he owes us anything. We'll sell it and send him his share. That's probably a real porcelain. Might go in the bedroom.
Oh. Look, why don't I just meet you somewhere? This whole thing depresses me.
Well, just sit down and relax. The dealer will be here in a minute.
Oh, it's just that there's something so rotten about it. There always was. It's infuriating.
We'll sell it, and that'll be the end of it. I got the tickets, by the way.
Oh, good. Boy, I hope it's a good picture.
Better be great, not good. $2.50 a piece.
Well, I don't care. I want to go someplace. God, what's it all about? You know, coming up the stairs just now and all the doors hanging open, it just doesn't seem possible.
They tear down old buildings every day of the week, kid.
I know. It just makes you feel 100 years old. Oh, where's your dealer?
I don't know. He's 10 minutes late now. He should be here soon. That should be worth something.
Oh, I think a lot of it is. But you're going to have to bargain with them, you know. You can't just take what they say.
I can bargain. I'm not just giving this stuff away.
Because they expect you to bargain.
Look, I know the store with these guys. I can bargain.
What is this record?
Oh, it's a Latin record. It was big in the 20s.
You remember it?
Very vaguely. I was 4 or 5 at the time. They used to play in the parties, I guess. Sit around laughing or just see if you keep a straight face. Who knows?
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
You know, you really look nice. I mean that.
Well, I believe you. This is the suit.
So that's it. How much? Turn around.
45, imagine. Said nobody'd want to buy it. It's too simple.
Boy, women are dumb. See, I don't mind if you get something new, but so much of the stuff they sell today is such crap. I mean, like, look at this counter. Isn't this one you just bought me?
Oh, no, I think that's one of the older ones.
Well, even so, we ought to write consumers you need about these shoes. Just 3 weeks.
Look, it's because you don't walk straight. You're not going in uniform, are you?
I could have murdered that guy. I just changed him when Owen was trying to fingerprint a bum who didn't want to be printed. So he swings on his arm, just as I'm going by, right into my coffee cup.
God.
I gave it to the quick cleaners, so right ahead of my 6.
Did you have cream and sugar in that coffee?
Yeah.
Well, then you'll never have it by 6.
They're gonna try.
Oh, forget it.
It's only a movie.
I know. But we go out so rarely, and why must everybody know your salary? Look, I just want an evening. I want to go sit down in a restaurant without having some drunken ex-cop coming over to the table to talk over old times.
Esther, it's happened twice. After all these years, it seems to me that...
I know, it's not important. Like the guy in the museum. He really did. He thought you were the sculptor.
So I'm a sculptor.
Well, it was nice, that's all. I mean, you do, Vic. You really do look distinguished in a suit. I have an idea. Why don't you just leave me? Just send me enough money for coffee and cigarettes.
Now see, one drink, and look how depressed you get.
Well, it's a kind of depression I enjoy.
Well, hot diggity dog. I'll tell you what. Why don't you take a couple weeks off? You can take it off with your doctor. Everybody can change your viewpoint.
Well, I wish I could.
Well, why not? He's got a suit. You could even take the dog, especially the dog.
What have you got against that
She's a pain in the butt, Esther. $80 in veterinary bills, and every time I put on a uniform, it's like putting on a fur coat.
That is not the dog.
So it's the cat. Between the two of them, I'm getting up a half an hour earlier just to brush myself off. It's not funny. You go out for walks in the rain, I hold my breath. What's gonna come back with you?
Well, you know you love her.
I love her. You get drunk, bring home strange animals, and I love them. I do not love that dog. It's not funny. I don't think humor in the house stinks.
Well, you're not going to throw out the cat?
The cat is not the problem, Esther. The problem is you're an intelligent, capable woman. You need to do something. You can't just lay around the house all day. Even something part-time will give you someplace to go.
I cannot go to the same place day after day after day. Never could and I never will. I'm just not quite used to Richard not being there anymore, that's all.
He's a grown man, kid. You've got to do something with your life.
Did you ask to speak to your brother?
I asked, yes. The nurse said he couldn't break away.
Son of a bitch. Sickening.
Well, what are you going to do? He never had that kind of feeling.
What feeling? Come to the phone after 16 years is just common decency. You're furious, aren't you?
Only at myself. Calling him again and again all week like an idiot. To hell with it. We'll sell it and send him his half.
How many Cadillacs did he drive?
That's why he's got Cadillacs. Men who love money don't throw it away.
Why must you put it like charity? I mean, there is such a thing as a moral debt, you know.
You know, you sound like a book sometimes. Moral debt? The guy wouldn't know what I was talking about, Esther.
Why can't we just talk the way people talk? You know he never could have gotten through medical school if you hadn't taken care of Pop. Now there could be some real money here.
Esther, the man hasn't called me in 16 years.
Well, neither have you called him. That's also a fact.
Esther. I mean, there are no antiques, no...
Well, why is it that just because it's ours, it must be worthless?
No, what's that for?
Well, that's the way we think. It is.
He's never returned my calls. What am I going to do?
Well, then, write him a letter. And go bang on his door. This stuff belongs to you.
What are you so excited about?
I just thought it might help you make up your mind to take your retirement, that's all.
It's not the money that's been stopping me.
Well, then what is it? I mean, it could give you a cushion. You might take a couple of months and find something that you really like to do.
Esther, I don't need to quit to think it's the only thing I do lately.
Nothing ever seems to come of it.
Is it that simple? I'll be 50 and don't you start a whole new career. I don't see why it's so urgent all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, it's all we've been talking about ever since you became eligible. It's all I've been saying for 3 years.
Well, it hasn't been 3 years.
It's 3 years in March. It is 3 years. You know, if you'd gone back to school, you'd almost have your master's by now. You could have found something wonderful to do, something you really enjoy. Why can't you make a move?
Esther, is it that simple? I'd be 50, 53, 54 by the time I can start doing anything.
I always knew that.
But it's different when you're right on top of it. I don't think it makes any sense now.
You might have another 20 years. You can find so much that you like to do in 20 years. You're still young, Vic.
I am.
Well, sure, I'm not, but you are. I mean, look at the way the girls all goggle at you. What do you want?
I don't know because I don't understand it myself.
Then why don't you write a letter to Walter?
What is this with Walter? Every time we start to talk, you bring up Walter.
Look, he's a scientist. And that hospital is building a whole new research division. I read about it in the paper. It's his hospital.
Esther, he hasn't called me in 16 years.
Well, neither have you called him. That's also a fact.
Why would I call him?
Because he's your brother. And he's influential. Look, those articles he wrote had some real idealism to them. There was the human quality. I mean, people do change, you know.
I'm sorry, I don't need Walter.
I'm not asking you to approve of it. He's a selfish bastard, but he might be able to help put you on the right track to something. I mean, I don't see the humiliation in it.
I don't understand why it's all such an emergency.
Because I don't know where the hell I am, Victor. Look, I don't care. I don't mind what I do, as long as I know why. But all these years, It's like we've been talking about it every time we talk. We say, when we get your pension, then we're really going to start to live. It's been like pushing against the door for 25 years, and suddenly it gives way, and we stand there. Look, maybe I misunderstood you. Maybe you like the department.
I've hated every minute of it.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe if I had demanded more, it would have helped you more.
No. You've been a terrific one.
Well, I don't think so. But the security seemed to mean so much to you. I tried to fit into that. You know, before I came over here today, I looked around the apartment to see if we could use any of this stuff. That place is so ugly. It is worn and shabby and tasteless. And I have good taste. I know I do. It's just that everything was always so temporary with us. We never were anything we were always about to be. When I think back to the war years, when any idiot was making so much money, that's when you should have quit. And I knew it. I knew it.
Why used to make it sound like we've had no life at all?
My mother was so right. I never believe what I see, but I'm going to. I knew if you didn't quit during the war, you never would. You know what the damn trouble is?
What's the damn trouble?
We never keep our minds on money. Oh, we talk about it, we worry about it, but we never seem to want it. Well, I do, Victor. Even if you don't, I want money.
Well, congratulations.
So right now.
Esther, why must you keep comparing yourself to other people all the time? It seems to be all you're doing lately.
Well, I can't help it.
Then you're gonna have to be a failure, kid. Because there's always gonna be somebody ahead of you. Tell you the truth, I've even started to fill out the forms a couple of times.
Well, what happened?
I don't know, I guess there's some banality about that. You look at the form and sign your name to 28 years and you ask yourself, is that all? Is that it? And it isn't worse. The trouble is, when I start thinking of starting something new, that number comes up. 50. And all the steam goes up. It turns into some kind of joke. I'll do something, I will. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's, every time I think about it, it's almost frightening.
I know.
Like, when I came in here before, to pile up all this stuff like it was made of gold, I pulled up every stick. I damn near saved the carpet tax. So many things that seemed so important to me then turn out to be ridiculous. Like the way I was with him. It's inconceivable to me now.
But you loved him.
I know, but what was he? A busted businessman like thousands of others, and I acted like some mountain crash. I guess I don't sign out, because I'll regret it all more than I realize, and what do you do if you don't do the work you love? It's a luxury. Most people never get the chance. Sometimes it's like a story somebody told me once. Did you ever feel that way?
All day, every day.
Oh, come on.
Look, I was 19 years old when I first came up those stairs, and you were opening the box with your first uniform. Remember that? Remember how we laughed when you put on that uniform for the first time? You said, well, if anything happens, I'll just call a cop. Well, it was a masquerade. You were right. That's when you were right.
You know, Esther, sometimes you try to sound childish.
Childish? Don't you talk childishness to me. Not in this room. You've let it all lay here all these years. Because you can't have a simple conversation with your own brother. And I'm childish? No. No. Look, just because you're stuck doesn't mean I have to be. I've got to get out of here. I'm going for a walk.
Fine, go ahead. I can't tell you what to do.
Look, do you have a receipt? I'll pick up your suit at the cleaners. I just have to get out of here.
It's right off 7. The address is on it. I don't blame you.
I'll be right back.
I can't tell you what to do, kid.
Did you know you were grinding your teeth in your sleep last night?
Oh, no wonder my ear hurts me.
I mean it. It's gruesome. It's almost like a bunch of rocks tumbling down a mountainside. You know, I ought to get a tape recorder so you could hear it. Maybe you wouldn't take such a self-sufficient attitude.
Self-sufficient? I've just been telling you that...
Well, then why don't you do something about it? I mean, if you want to stay on the force, then stay. If you don't, then quit. But let me know about it so I can get on with the rest of my life.
And what's that supposed to mean?
It means jumping out of bed in the morning and wanting to do what it is you're going to do. That's what it means. But I know better.
I get the message.
Like what?
What other message is there?
What's that?
One of my old radios that I built. Mamma mia, would you look at that too?
Would that thing still work?
No, you need a storage battery.
What?
One of my batteries exploded, went right through there or something. See? Yeah. See where the blaster's different?
Is that the one you used to get Tokyo on?
Yeah, this is the monster.
Why don't you take it?
It's useless.
Didn't you have a lab up here, or did I just dream that?
Yeah. I got this wall and wall right that one. I took it down when Papa and I moved up here. You know, we used to do some great tricks up here. It's inconceivable to me. I know all the reasons and all the reasons and all the reasons, and it still comes up nothing. It's strange, you know? We'd be up here for hours, sometimes all night. And the house was filled with music. Mother would be down in the library playing. And it's unusual, I guess, because the heart was so soft. But it penetrates, I guess.
You dear, Vic, you are.
Well, I'm gonna have to call another dealer. Come on, let's get out of here. We'll get my suit and we'll act rich.
Oh, no, Vic, I didn't mean that I...
Let me put this away. I don't want anybody to walk off with it.
Can you still do that?
No. You gotta be in shape for this. It's all in the thighs.
Well, I've never seen you. Let me see.
I can't get down quite far enough anymore.
Well, you might take it up again.
No, it's all right here. Stand over here.
Me?
Don't worry, it won't hurt. See how alive it is? I beat Princeton with this one.
God, Victor!
What?
What? You look beautiful.
Can I get you a glass of water?
Would you like to sit down? Are you sure you don't want some water?
Water I don't need. A little blood I could use. Oh boy, that is some stairs.
Are you all right now?
Another couple of steps will be in heaven. Oh, excuse me, officer. I'm looking for a party. The name is...
Franz?
That's it, Franz.
Victor Franz.
So, it's a policeman.
Uh-huh.
Well, what do you know? You see, there's one beauty to this lousy business. You meet all kinds of people, but I never dealt with a policeman before. Very happy to meet you. My name is Solomon, Gregory Solomon.
This is my wife.
How do you do?
Oh, very nice. That's a nice looking woman. How do you do, darling? Beautiful suit.
Well, as a matter of fact, I just bought it.
Don't say. Congratulations. Very good health.
Well, I'd better get to the cleaners. I'll be right back. How long do you think you'll be?
With furniture, you never know. Can be short, can be long, can be medium.
Well, you give him a good price now, you hear?
Ah, look. You go enjoy the cleanup. We'll take care of everything, 100%.
Because there's some very beautiful stuff here. I know it, but he doesn't.
I'm not 62 years in business by taking advantage. Go, enjoy the cleanup.
Hope I'm going to like you, Mr. Solomon.
Sweetheart, all girls like me. What can I do?
You be careful.
See you later.
I like her. She's suspicious.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, a girl who believes everything, how you gonna trust her? I had a bite. Well, what's the difference? Tell me, if you wouldn't mind, how did you get my name?
Out of the phone book.
You don't say the home book.
Why?
No, that's fine, that's fine.
The ad said you were a registered appraiser.
Oh yes, I am registered. I'm licensed. I'm even vaccinated. Don't laugh. The only thing you can do today without a license is you go up the elevator and jump up with it. But I don't have to tell you that. You're a policeman. You know this world. I'm right.
I guess.
So, this is a lot of furniture. This all for sale?
Well, yeah, I told you on the phone it was all household.
Fine. Don't worry about it. Frankly, in this neighborhood, I never expected such a load. It's very surprising.
I told you it was all household.
Oh, look, don't worry about it. We'll handle everything very nice. I'm not a big in, officer, but if you wouldn't mind, what is your connection? How do you come to this?
It was in my family.
You don't say. Looks like it's been standing here a long time, no?
Well, my father moved everything up here after the 29 crash. My uncles took over the house and they let him keep this floor.
I see.
Can you give me an estimate now, or do you have to,
No, I'll give you right away. Don't waste a minute. I'm very busy. He passed away, your father?
Yeah, 16 years ago.
It's been standing here 16 years.
Well, we never got around to doing anything about it, but they're tearing the building down now. They used to have quite a bit of money, and quite some good stuff.
Very good, yes. I was also very good. Now I'm not so good. Time, it's a terrible thing. That sounding board is correct, but don't worry about it. It's still a nice object. Funny thing, an armoire like this, 30 years you couldn't get it away. It was a regular measle. Today all of a sudden they found it again. Go figure it out.
Well, you give me a good price and we'll make a deal.
Definitely. See, I don't lie to you. For instance, a chiffonier like this, why, I wouldn't have to keep this a week. That's a pair,
I know. There's more stuff in the bedroom I'd like to see.
Oh. Ah. What have you got here? Oh, I like the bed. That's a very nice carved bed. That I can sell. That's your parents' bed?
Yeah, they may have bought that in Europe if I'm not mistaken. They used to have quite a bit of money.
Very nice. Looks a very nice family. Oh, I like the chairs. This is nice chairs.
By the way, that table opens up. Probably seat about 12.
Oh, I know that. 14 in a pinch. What's this? I thought you were stabbing your wife when I came.
No, I used to fence years ago. I just found it here.
You went to college?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's the same old story.
No, listen. What happens to people is always the main element to me, because when do they call me? It's either a divorce, or the parents die, or something. I mean, it's always a new story. I mean, it's the same, but it's different.
You pick up the pieces, is that it?
That's very good, yes. I pick up the pieces. It's a little bit like you, I suppose. You must have some stories, I bet ya.
Some, I guess.
Well, what are you, a traffic cop or something?
No. I'm out on Rockaway most of the time, the airports.
That's Siberian, no?
I like it better that way.
You keep your nose clean.
That's it. So, what do you say?
What do I say? You like it forgotten?
No, thanks. I gave it up years ago.
I can see you're a very factual person.
You hit it.
So, tell me, you got some kind of paper here to show ownership?
No. Let's just say I'm the owner.
In other words, there's no brother, there's no sister.
Well, there's a brother, yes.
Aha, you are friendly with him? Not that I'm mixing in, officer, but I don't have to tell you. The average family, they love each other like crazy, but the minute the parents die, it's always a question of who's going to get bought, and in 5 minutes you're covered with cats and dogs.
There's no such problem here.
Unless you're going to talk about a few pieces, but to take on a whole load like this without a paper is just
All right, I'll get you a written statement.
That's definite, because even from high-class families, you wouldn't believe the shenanigans. Lawyers, college professors, television personalities, $500 they'll pay a lawyer to fight over a bookcase that's worth 50 cents. But everybody wants to be number one, you see.
All right. I said I'd get you a written statement. Now, where are we?
So
What's the story?
So tell me. You mentioned the story. For instance, the dining room table bed. That's what they call Spanish Jacobian. Cost maybe $1,200, $1,300, 1921, 22. I'm right?
I guess.
I can see you're a factual person, so before I say another word, I want you to remember, with used furniture, you cannot be emotional.
I haven't opened my mouth.
Officer, I mean, you're a policeman, I'm a furniture dealer. We both know this world. Anything Spanish Jacobian, you'll sell quick for a case of tuberculosis.
But why? That's a beautiful table.
Officer, we're talking reality here. You can't talk reality with used furniture. They don't like that style. Not only they don't like it, they hate it. And the same thing with the buffet there, and the piece over here.
So you only want a few pieces, is that it?
Officer, we're already talking too fast.
No, you're not taking the gravy and leaving me with the bones. It's all or nothing.
Talk a little bit, see what happens. In a day that didn't feel grown, you see what I had in mind. I give you such a knockout price for these few pieces that...
That's out.
Out?
I'm not running a department store. They're tearing the building down.
Could be better, so there's no reason to be emotional. These records go?
I might take 3 or 4.
What do you know? Coon Sanders.
You're not going to play it now.
Who needs to play? I was on the same ticket as Coon Sanders, maybe 50 theaters ago.
You were an actor?
An actor? An acrobat. You never heard of the 5 Solomons? May they rest in peace. I was the one on the bottom.
Who ever heard of a Jewish acrobat?
What's the matter with Jacob? He wasn't a wrestler. Jews been acrobats since the beginning of the world. I was a horse them days. Drink, women, on the go. Nothing ever stopped me. Only life. Yes, my boy. What do you know? Coon Sanders.
So, where are
So tell me, what's with crime? It's up, eh?
we? Yeah, it's up. Look, Mr. Solomon, let's get one thing straight. I am not sociable.
You're not.
No, I'm not. I'm not a businessman. I'm not good at conversation, so let's just get to a price and finish, okay?
You don't want to be buddies.
That's exactly it.
So, we won't be buddies. But just so you understand me a little better, I want to show you something. Here's my discharge from the British Navy.
What were you doing in the British Navy?
Forget the British Navy. What was the date of birthday?
18. You're almost 90?
That's right, my boy. I left Russia 65 years ago. I was 24 years old. I smoked, I drank, and I loved every woman who would let me. So what do I need to steal from you?
Why do people need a reason to steal?
I never saw such a man in my life.
Yeah, you did. Now, you gonna give me a figure or not?
How can I give you a figure? You don't trust one word I say.
Why should I trust you? I just met you.
Look, here you can't be a policeman. If you want to do business a little bit, you got to believe or you... I forget it.
What are you doing?
I can't work this way. I'm too old. Every time I open my mouth, you practically call me a thief.
Who called you a thief?
No, I don't need it. I don't want it in my shop. And don't you forget it. I never gave you a prize. See what you did to me?
What did you come here for? To do me a favor? I told you it was a whole house full.
Mister, I pity you. What is the matter with you people? You're worse than my daughter. Nothing in the world you believe, nothing you respect. How can you live? You think that's such a smart thing what you're doing? That's so hard what you're doing. Let me give you a piece of advice. It's not that you can't believe nothing. That's not so hard. It's that you gotta believe it. That's hard. And if you can't do that, my friend, you're a dead man.
Oh, come on, Solomon.
No, you got a certain kind of problem with this furniture here that you don't want to listen to.
I'm listening. For Christ's sakes, what do you want me to do? Get out on my knees, I'm listening.
Okay. I realize you're a factual person, but some facts are part. What's the 3?
40 inches.
So, the bedroom doors in a modern apartment are 32 inches maximum. So you can't get this in.
But what about the older apartments?
All I'm telling you is that my possibilities are smaller.
And I can't open my mouth?
I'm giving you architectural facts. Take, for instance, the library table. Now, that's a solid beauty. But you go find me a modern apartment for the library. If they would build old hotels, I could sell this. But they only build new hotels. This stuff is from another world. People don't live like this no more. You see, I'm trying to give you a modern viewpoint. Because the price of used furniture is nothing but a viewpoint. And if you wouldn't understand the viewpoint, it's impossible to understand the price.
So what's the viewpoint? That it's all worthless?
That's what you said. I didn't say that. The chairs is worth something. The hearth, the chiffoniers, the bed.
That's out. You're not taking the gravy and leaving me.
What are you jumping? Boy, you know.
What, are you gonna make me an offer or not?
You must have arrested 1 million people by now.
18 and 28 years.
So what are you so hard on me?
Because you talk about everything but money and I don't know where the hell we're at.
We will not talk money.
That's good, because every time you open your mouth, the price seems to go down.
My boy, the price didn't change since I walked in.
That's even better, so what's the price? What's the matter? What's bothering you?
Look, I shouldn't have come. I thought it would be a few pieces, but this is too much for me.
Well, what'd you come for? I told you it was a whole house full.
You called me, so I came. What should I do, lay down and die? Look, I want very much to make you an offer. The only question is...
This is a hell of a note.
Listen, it's a terrible temptation to me. See, I'll tell you the truth. You must have looked in a very old phone book. A couple of years ago already, I cleaned out my store, except for a few English andirons I got left. I sell when I need a few dollars. I figured I was 80, 85, it was time already. But I waited and nothing happened. I even moved out of my apartment. I'm living in the back of the store with a hot plate. Nothing happened. I'm still practically 100%. Well, not 100%, but I feel very well, and I thought, well, maybe you've got a couple of nice pieces here. Not that the rest can't be sold, but that could take a year and a half. For me, that's a big bet. The trouble is, I love to work. I love it. You see, I don't know what to tell you.
Forget it then.
Why are you jumping?
Are you in or out?
How do I know where I am? You see, it's also this particular furniture. The average person who'll take one look at it, it'll make him very nervous.
Why will it make him nervous?
Because he knows it's never gonna break.
Oh, come on. Have a little mercy, will ya?
My boy, you don't know the psychology. If it wouldn't break, there's no more possibilities. Take, for instance, this table. Listen. It's a solid beauty. A man sits down to such a table, he knows not only he's married, he's got to stay married. You're laughing. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth here. For instance, well, what's the key word? Disposable. The more you can throw it away, the more it's beautiful. The car, the wife, the children, everything has to be disposable. Because the main thing today is shopping. Years ago, a person, he didn't know what to do with himself. He'd go to church, start a revolution, something. Today you're unhappy, can't figure it out. What's the salvation? Go shopping.
Solomon, you are terrific.
I'm telling you the truth. If they would close the stores in this country for 6 months, there'd be from coast to coast a regular massacre. With this kind of furniture, the shopping is over. It's finished. You got it? You see? No, you got a problem here.
You are one of the greatest.
What? The greatest?
I used to sell encyclopedias door to door. You know what that is.
You don't say. You sold?
Yeah, I was the best salesman in the south part of Westchester County. But you make me look like a...
So why did you give it up?
I couldn't stand the bullshit. I'm not criticizing you. I admire it. I wish I was more that way myself. But it's not gonna work.
What, Bert? I don't know how much time I have left. What's so terrible if I say that? The trouble is you're such a young thing, you don't understand these things.
I'm not so young.
What are you, 40, 45?
I'll be 50.
50? You're a baby boy.
Some baby.
My God, if I was 50, I got married, I was 75.
Oh, come on.
No, she's still living over there on 8th Avenue. See, that's why I want to stay liquid, because if she can get her hands on this, oh, I don't want that. Birds, she does. She's living over there with maybe 100 birds. She gives you a plate of soup that's got feathers. I didn't work all my life for them birds.
Solomon, I appreciate your problems, but I don't have to pay for them. I've got no more time.
I'm going to buy it. I mean, I'll figure it out. I'm going to buy it.
No, that's everything.
Everything. I'll figure it out. I'll give you a very nice price. You'll be a very happy man.
I doubt that. What's this now, lunch?
You give me such an argument, I'm hungry. I'm not supposed to get too hungry.
Oh, boy.
Please, don't be blue. I'm going to be very quick here. I don't suppose there'd be a little salt.
I'm not going running for salt now.
Don't be blue. It's going to be very quick here. You'll see. I'm going to knock you off your feet with a price.
That's good, as long as you're serious.
Thank you.
You know, I can't believe you got married at 75.
What's so terrible?
Well, what's the point?
What's the point at 25? You can't die at 26.
Well, yeah, I guess.
It's the same like second-hand furniture, you see. The whole thing is a viewpoint. 75, I got married. 51, 22.
You're kidding.
I wish.
You're a hell of a guy.
You know, it's been so long since I took on such a load like this, you forget what kind of life it puts into you. To take out a pencil again is a regular injection. Because you see, you must have looked in your homework. Because my phone, it wouldn't interfere with nothing. But, well, when you called me, I don't want to waste your time, but I want to thank you very much, very much. I can open this.
Sure, anything.
Someone who used to have a mirror. Oh, what's this?
God knows, looks like a rug.
No, it's a lap robe like for a car.
Oh yeah, sure, I remember this now. They used to use this when we went driving.
You had a chauffeur?
Yeah, we had a chauffeur.
Ah, what's this? He must have been some sporty guy, no?
You look good.
And from all this, he could go so broke.
Sure, why not? Took 5 weeks. Less.
You don't say. And he couldn't make a comeback?
Some men just don't bounce, that's all.
No. What did he do?
Sat here, listened to the radio.
But what did he do? What?
Oh, at the beginning he was working part-time at the automat making change. Towards the end he was delivering telegrams.
You don't say. And how much he had?
Couple of million, I guess.
My God, what was the matter with him?
Well, my mother died around that same time. I guess that didn't help matters any. Some men just don't bounce, that's all.
Listen, I can tell you bounces. Well, I got busted in 1932, then 1923 they also knocked me out. The panic of 1904, 1898, but to lay down like that?
But you're different. He believed it.
What do you believe?
The system, the whole thing. I guess he thought it was his fault. You come in with your song and dance, it's all a gag, you tell your jokes, people fall in love with you, and you walk off with the furniture.
That's not nice.
Look, don't shame me, will ya? You know what we've got here, you don't need to look anymore. What's the matter, you afraid it's gonna keep you busy?
You don't think that's foolish?
Who knows what's foolish? You enjoy it.
Listen, I love it.
So take it, you think too much, you lose everything.
I would like to tell you something. I had a daughter, she should rest in peace. She took her own life.
When was this?
Suicide. Well, it was 1915, the latter part. But very beautiful, a lovely face with large eyes. She was pure like the morning. And lately, I don't know what it is. I see her clear like I see you. And every night, practically, I lay down to go to sleep, so she sits there. And you can't help it. You ask yourself, what happened? What happened? Maybe I could have said something. Maybe I did say something. I mean, it's not that I'm afraid to die. You can't be afraid of that. But, well, the truth. I'll tell you the truth. A minute ago, I mentioned to you I had 3 wives. Just this minute, I realized I had 4. Isn't that terrible? See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's impossible to know what is important. I mean, here, I'm sitting here talking to you. And what for? Not that I don't want it. I want it, but you see, all my life I've been a terrible fighter. You could never take nothing from me. I struggled in 6 different countries. I nearly got killed a couple of times, and it's like now I'm sitting here talking to you, and I tell you it's a dream. It's a dream. You can't imagine it because
I understand it very well.
what do you understand?
What you just said. The big decisions are always the ones you don't realize you're making until it's too late.
Why? You got such a nice. Your wife is all right.
Oh, she's terrific. Best piece of luck I ever had. But like when we got married, the big decision then was to live the life we wanted, not the rat race. But as it turns out, I guess there isn't anything else unless you've got some kind of talent. And then otherwise it's 3 feeds a day, you make the kid for the army, and you pack it in. I don't know, I guess there's just no respect for anything but money. Not that I have anything against it, but you try to stay above it, you shovel it out, back in under the door. And it all turns out she wants. Take, for instance, our apartment house. We've got ignorant knuckleheads there who can hardly sign their own name. But last month, a couple brings down their old refrigerator. They want to give it to us. You know, they know what it makes you see, and it's that friendly sort of viciousness that's eating her out. I mean,
What did you want? A police commissioner? I mean, an honest cop, is it?
he's a jerk. Took me 14 years to get the damn stripes, only because I wouldn't kiss ass, and we were always in perfect agreement about that. But like I'm supposed to retire.
What are you going to do?
I don't know, I'll do something. It just For years, I thought it would mean going back to school, taking up science, doing something interesting. But that'll take 3 or 4 more years, and she's not ready to sacrifice, and I don't think I am either. So what's left? You go out, sell something, shoot the bull one way or another, which is just what I was trying to avoid.
No, see, you may find
There are days when I can't remember what it is I wanted to do, but there was an idea we had that,
You see, you may find this thing. A man can think whatever he wants to think. You should never.
forget about the money.
What have you got against money?
Nothing. I'm just not going to lay down my life for it anymore. But you lay it down another way and you're a damn fool in the bargain. It's the old story. You can do anything. Just make sure you win. Like my brother, for instance. Years ago, I was living here with the old man. And he used to contribute $5 a month. A month! And a successful doctor. I had to drop out of school just to keep the old man from starving to death. But the few times he'd come around, the expression on the old man's face, you'd think God had walked in. And the respect, you know what I mean? And why not? Why not?
Well, sure, he had the power.
Now you said it. If you've got that, you've got it all. You're even lovable. Well, what do you say? Give me a price.
I will give you $1,100.
That's for everything?
Everything. Everything. I figured it out. I've given you a very good price. You will not do better. Here, I'll pay you now.
No, it's that I have to split it, you see.
Oh, well, so I'll make out a receipt for you, and I'll put down $600.
No.
Why? He took from you, so take from him. If you want, I'll put down $400.
No, I don't want to do that. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay. If I'm alive in the morning, I'll answer. If I wouldn't be, then I wouldn't be.
Solomon, you're starting again.
Look, you convinced me, so I want it.
I convinced you?
Absolutely, you convinced me. You saw it. The minute I walked in here and looked at it, I was going to walk out.
Oh, to hell with it. Give it to me.
Please, don't be blue.
It all stinks. Come on.
What stinks? You should be happy. Now you can take it to Florida or buy a nice coat.
Yeah, I know all about it. Come on.
There's 100, 200, 300, 400. Take my advice. Buy you a nice fur coat. Your troubles will be over.
Yeah, well, I'll be happy now. Come on.
So you got there 4. So I'm giving you 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's already in the Bible, the rat race. The minute she laid her hand on the apple, that's it.
I don't read the Bible.
If you read it, you'll see there's always a rat race. You can't stay out of it.
Yeah, come on.
So you got there 7. So I'm giving you 8.
Walter! How are you, kid? God, I never expected to see you.
Sorry I'm late. What are you doing?
I just sold it.
Oh, that's good. How much?
1,100.
Oh. For everything?
Doctor, I'm very happy to meet you. My name is Solomon, Gregory Solomon.
How do you do?
How's Esther?
Fine, should we hear in a minute?
Here? Good. And what's Richard doing?
He's at MIT.
No kidding, MIT.
Yeah, they gave him a full scholarship.
Well, what do you know? You're proud, aren't you?
I guess. He's on the honors program.
Is that right? No kidding, that's wonderful. You don't mind my company, do you?
No, I called a couple of times.
Well, my nurse told me. What's Richard interested in?
Science right now, anyway. And yours, how are they doing?
Well, I suppose Jean turned out best, but I don't think you ever saw her, did you?
No, I don't think I did.
You know, the Times gave her quite a spread last fall. She's a fairly accomplished designer.
Well, that's great. And the boys, they still in school?
Well, they often are. Tell you the truth, Vic, I mean, with all the unsolved mysteries in the world, they're investigating the guitar, but what the hell, I've given up on it. You know, I've forgotten how much he had up here. There's your old radio.
I know, I saw it.
Oh boy, it's been a long time.
Yeah, So, how's Dorothy?
Well, she's all right, I guess. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing Esther. Is she still writing poetry?
No, not for years now.
He got the very nice spot, too bad.
Oh. Well, it's the same old junk, isn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. There's some pretty nice stuff here.
One or two very nice things. Doctor, we came to a very nice agreement.
No, I never thought you'd get here. Maybe we better start over.
Oh. No. I don't want to follow up your deal. I just came to say hello, that's all.
Doctor, better you should take what you want now than argue later. What did you want?
Oh, really? I didn't want anything. I just came by to say hello, that's all.
Well, that's nice, Walter. I found your oar, by the way.
Or? Oh, I must have been out of my mind.
Doctor, if you want the oar.
Don't get excited. I don't want it.
No, I told you to say a personal item like that. I have no objection.
Well, you're very generous.
I threw in everything. I hope you don't mind.
No, that's quite all right. What are you taking?
Oh, nothing really. Esther might want a lamp or something like that.
He's a modern person, you see. He's not interested. What are you going to do?
You're not taking the harp?
No, nobody plays it anyway.
Doctor, please, the heart, that's another story.
Could I make a suggestion?
I don't mean to offend you, Doctor.
Why don't you just relax? We're only talking. We haven't seen each other in a long time.
Couldn't be better. I'm very sorry.
We wouldn't have room for it anyway. You take it if you like.
It's a pity. You know, this was Grandpa's wedding present.
Say that's right.
How much are you giving me for this?
Oh, I didn't itemize one price for everything. Maybe $300. That sounding board is practical.
Do you want it?
Victor, I hope you're not going to take that away from me. Doctor, please, I realize it belonged to your mother, but like I tried to tell you before, with used furniture, you cannot be emotional.
I guess it really doesn't matter. Actually, I was wondering if Dad kept any of Mom's old evening gowns, did he?
I don't know. I really haven't had a chance to look yet.
You know, because she had some spectacular gowns. I can just...
Is this what you mean?
Yes, that's the stuff. Isn't it beautiful? You know, I think she wore this at my wedding. Do you remember this?
What do you want with it?
Well, I don't know. I just thought maybe Jean could make something new out of the material. I'd kind of like her to wear something of Mother's, that's all.
Take, they're beautiful.
That's a nice idea.
What happened to the piano?
We sold that while I was still in school. Lived on it for quite a while.
I never knew that.
And the silver.
Oh, how stupid of me not to remember that.
Why? Why would you?
You know, Vic, you've gotten to look an awful lot like Dad.
I do?
Yes, the resemblance is striking, and the voice. Your voice is very much like his.
I know. It gets that sound to me every once in a while. Well, maybe we better settle up now.
Sure, go ahead.
We didn't waste a minute, gentlemen. So you got there 7.
You know, it's wonderful to see you looking so well.
Yeah, you too. You look great.
Well, I ski a lot, and I ride almost every morning. You know, I almost called you up a dozen times this year, but, oh, excuse me. Go ahead and finish. We'll talk later.
So you got there 7. So I'm giving you 8.
Is that price all right with you?
Well, sure, I don't want to interfere. It's just that I dealt with these fellows last year when I split up Dorothy's and my stuff.
You're not divorced, are you?
Yes.
Walter, for heaven's sake,
How are you, Esther?
what are you doing here?
You've hardly changed.
Go on now.
No, really. You old son of a gun, she still looks 25.
I know.
Stop it, Walter.
But you do, really. You look marvelous.
It's that suit, you see? What do I
What are you laughing at? It is.
You just look so surprised, that's all.
Well, I'm not used to walking into all these compliments.
You know, I'm sorry I didn't know you were going to be here when I left the house this morning, or I would have brought you some lovely Indian bracelets. I got a whole box full from Bombay.
Where did you come to?
Oh, I operated on this big textile guy, and he just keeps sending me things. He sent me this coat, in fact.
Well, I was noticing that. That's gorgeous material.
Isn't it? 2 gallstones.
Dorothy, did I hear you say
Yes, we're divorced last winter.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, it was coming a long time, but actually we're both much better off. We're even friendly now.
Oh, stop that, you
Well,
don't.
it's true.
Look, I'm the woman, so don't hand me that. Did you get everything settled?
I guess so.
Well, I was just telling Victor before you came that when we split up our home, did you ever hear of Spitzer and Fox?
30 years I knew Spitzer Fox. Fox worked for me maybe 10, 12 years.
Well, they did my appraisal.
Oh, they're good boys. Spitzer's not as good as Fox, but between the two, you're in good hands.
Yes, that's why
Spitzer's vice president of the Appraisers
You
Association.
don't say. What I was going to say.
I used to be president.
Really?
Yes, I made it all ethical.
Well, you don't say.
What's so funny? You wouldn't laugh so much. Before me, it was a regular jungle. Why, I put in all the rate, what they charge, you know. I made it a profession. Like doctors, lawyers. Used to be, it was a regular snake pit. Today, you got nothing to worry about. All the members are 100% ethical.
Well, that was a very good deed, Mr. Solomon, but I think you can do a little better on this furniture.
Well, how much has he offered?
1,100.
Oh, 1,100. Well, don't you think that's a little low?
Come on, Mr. Solomon. He's been risking his life for you every day. Be generous.
Well, that's a real brother. But you can have anybody you want to. Spitzer and Fox, Joe Brody, Morris Pike, Paul Cavola. I know them all. I know what they'll tell
The
us.
point he's trying to make is
Listen to him.
Now, hold on a second. The point he's trying to make is that a lot of the furniture is too big for the newer apartments.
You believe that?
Well, I don't know. Esther Spitzer and Fox said the same thing.
Walter, this city is full of big old apartments.
Darling, why don't you leave it to the boys?
Don't you order me around, Mr. Solomon. Those bureaus alone are worth a couple $100.
Maybe I oughtn't interfere.
Well, why not? Don't let him bulldoze you.
My dear girl, you're talking without the basis.
I don't like this kind of dealing, Mr. Solomon. I just don't like it. Walter, this money is very important to us.
Yes, I'm sorry, Esther. Well, if it were mine.
Well, why? It's just as much yours as it is Victor's.
Oh no, Esther, I wouldn't take anything from this.
No, Walter, you get half.
Oh, I wouldn't think of it, kid. I just came by to say hello, that's all.
Oh, wait, that's terrific, Walter. I mean, really.
We'll talk about it later.
No. You've earned it. It's yours.
Why have I earned it?
Look, we'll talk about it later. Now, in my opinion,
So, now you don't have to split. You're lucky they're tearing the building down. You got together finally.
I would have said at least a minimum of $3,000.
Why, that's exactly what I had in mind, except I would have said more like 3,500.
In that neighborhood, yes.
Well, what do you say?
What can I say? It's ridiculous. What's the matter with 3,000? Why doesn't he give you 5,000, 10,000?
You see, you really should have got a couple of other estimates. That's the only
That's
way.
what I've been calling you for all week, and you don't bother to come to the phone.
But why would that make any difference?
I didn't feel I had the right to do it alone.
I've been terribly busy, and I had no intention of taking any of this, so I just assumed that.
How was I to know that?
Well, I beg your pardon.
Excuse me, doctor. First, it's a lot of junk.
Nobody called this a lot of junk.
He called it a lot of junk when he walked in here.
Now, just a minute.
No, please. This is a factual man, so let's be factual.
Well, that was a very strange thing for you to say.
Well, I didn't mean it in that sense, Esther.
Doctor, you said junk.
I didn't mean it in that sense, Mr. Solomon. I'm sorry, it's just that when you've been brought up with things all your life, you tend to grow sick of them. That's all I meant.
Well, if it was Louis Sides or Peter Meyer, would that make you sick?
Look, there's a lamp right on top of that bureau in Peter Meyer's style.
Peter Meyer style, I got a hat that's in Porcelino style, and it's not a Porcelino. I mean, he don't have to charge me to make an impression.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, what basis do you go on, Walter?
I don't know, it's just a feeling, I guess.
Well, on what basis do you take 1,100, dear?
I simply felt it was more or less right.
Oh, all right, fine, here we go. We'll just throw it all away.
Esther, He's not giving nothing away. This man is no fool. Excuse me, but this is not right to do to him.
Oh, so now you're going to teach me what's right, is that it?
Oh, really? I mean,
Listen, Solomon, why don't you go in the bedroom and sit down for a little bit and let us talk?
Certainly. Only you've got no right to be ashamed. You've made a very nice deal. I don't mean to be personal, but
that was fantastic.
Why don't you go inside?
I'm going. It's just that, well, if it was any other man, I would say to him, he's got the money in his hands and the deal is concluded.
Oh, you can't conclude any deal without me, Solomon. I'm half owner here.
You see, what did I ask you? The first man I walked into. Who is the owner?
Now, wait a minute. Why are you always getting everything confused? I'm not making any claims.
Then how do you come to interfere? He's got the money. I know the law.
Now, you just hold down. You stop being foolish. Just stop it. I have the best lawyers in New York, so you just go right in there and sit down.
Stop it, Wolf. Just calm down. Relax.
Why? He's perfectly right.
Here, you better hold on to the money.
No, that's yours. You hold.
You all right?
Yes. Doctor, I'm fine. I just didn't have my nap today.
Maybe you should go in and lie down. Here, let me look at you.
I'm fine, really. Doctor, please, if you wouldn't mind, in my portfolio there's a Hershey's that helps me. I'm really a very healthy person, you see, but I have to have my nap. Not the orange on the bottom, it's the Hershey's. That's the one. Thank you.
Okay, come on. Let's go in and lie down. Take it easy.
You're very nice people. I'm very sorry.
Why are you being so apologetic?
About what?
That old man, was that his first offer?
Why would you believe Walter? He was obviously pulling a number on my head.
Well, I agree with him. Did you try to get him to go higher?
Look, I don't know how to bargain, and I'm not going to start now. You know, sometimes you take a tone with me like I'm some kind of incompetent.
Why you have to be above everything? You know, we're not 20 years old anymore. We need this money. Do you hear me?
Esther, I made a deal, and that's it.
Well, at least you'll get the whole amount. God, he certainly has changed, hasn't he? It's amazing.
Seems so, yeah.
Well, he's human. He almost laughs.
I've seen him laugh.
Am I hearing something here, or is this my imagination?
I want to think about it.
You're not taking a share.
I said I would like to think about it. Where are you going?
I need to know, are you or aren't you taking a share?
Esther, I've been calling him all week. Doesn't bother to come to the phone. Walks in here and I'm supposed to fall into his arms?
I don't know what it is you think you're upholding.
Certain things have happened, haven't they? Now, sit down. I want you here.
Don't talk to me like that.
It'll just take a minute. Sit down, please.
Vic, it's all blowing away.
Half of 1,100 is $550, dear.
It's not the money. He's obviously making a gesture. Why can't you just open yourself up a little bit?
He's only been here 10 minutes. Give me a chance.
My mother was so right. I never believe what I see, but I'm going to. That's all I'm going to do, just what I see.
How is he?
Oh, I think you'll be all right. God, what a pirate. He's 89.
I don't believe it.
He is. He showed me his...
Did he show you that too?
Yeah, British Navy.
He was in the British Navy?
He's got a discharge. He's not altogether phony.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far, but still, a guy his age, driving like that, there's something wonderful about him.
I think so.
Well, what do you think we ought to do, Walter?
Well, you know, there is a way to get a great deal more out of this, but I suppose you know that, Bill.
Look, I'm not married to the guy. If you want to get us another dealer and a second opinion,
Nah, there's no need for that. I mean, he's a registered appraiser. But you see, instead of selling it to him, you could make it a charitable contribution.
I don't understand.
Oh, it's quite simple. You see, he sets a value on it, let's say $25,000.
Are you kidding?
Oh, it's done every day, Esther. It's a dream world, but it's perfectly legal. He estimates it at its highest retail value, and then I would donate it to the Salvation Army. Well, you see, I'd have to take possession because my tax rate is higher than yours. I pay about 50% tax. Therefore, if I made a charitable contribution of $25,000, I'd be saving $12,000 in taxes, which we could split any way you like it. Suppose we split it in half. I'd give you $6,000. Really, that's the only sensible way to do it there.
Well, would it be costing you anything?
Oh, on the contrary, he found money for me. Well, I just mentioned it to him.
And what did he say?
Well, it's up to you, but we pay him an appraiser's fee, 50, 60 bucks.
Is he willing to do that?
Well, he'd much rather buy it outright, but what the hell?
Well, it's not his decision, is it?
No, it's just that I did come to a deal with him, and I feel that...
Well, personally, I wouldn't let that bother me, kid. He'd be making 50 bucks for filling out a piece of paper.
That's not bad for an afternoon.
I'd like to think about it.
Well, you don't have much time if you want to deal with him.
Look, I'd like a few minutes, that's all.
Let him think about it. You know, it's perfectly legal, Vic, if that's what's bothering you. Well, I almost did it myself with my own stuff, but I decided to keep it. In fact, my own apartment doesn't look much different from this.
You might get married again.
I doubt that very much, Esther, you know. Sometimes I feel I never should have.
Why?
Well, I'm in a strange business, you know. There's so much to learn in so little time, and I've been kidding myself. There's just no time for people. Not the way a woman expects if she's any kind of woman, but I've been doing all right alone.
How would I list an amount like that on my income tax?
Oh, just put it down as a gift. Oh, not that it is, of course, but you could list it as such. It's allowable.
I see, I was just curious how...
Just list it as a gift. No
I
problem.
see.
Oh. Do you still fence?
No, I just found it here. You gotta join a club, and I work weekends mostly.
Mother used to love to watch him do this.
Really?
Yes. She used to attend all his matches.
Well, you never told me that.
She's the one who made him take it up. She thought it was elegant, especially with those French doublets, remember?
Say, that's right.
You know,
I wonder...
he was pretty good at it too. I still have the wounds.
French gauntlets.
Yes, she brought them from Paris. Oh, they were gorgeously embroidered. He looked like one of those musketeers.
Here they are. God, I'd forgotten all about them.
Well, they are beautiful.
Christmas,
And
1929.
they're still soft. How do you remember all this?
Why not, don't you?
Well, he doesn't remember your mother very well.
Well, I remember her, it's just that I can never see her face somehow.
That's amazing, Vic. You know, she adored him.
Did she?
What? Victor? Well, if it started to rain, she'd run all the way to school with his galoshes. Her Victor. My God, by the time he could strike a match, he was already Louis Pasteur.
It's odd. Like the harp, I can often hear the music, but I can never see her face.
Vic? What's the matter?
Excuse me, doctor, if you wouldn't mind, just
What is it?
just for 1 minute, please.
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Why can't you take him as he is? We can't expect him to apologize. I mean, but he's obviously trying to make a gesture, though.
I guess so, yeah.
Do you know what would be lovely? If we could just get away from here and go someplace completely different, just to break it up. See the things that people do. I mean, we've been around such mean, petty people for so long and such dirty little tricks. I'm serious. It's not romantic. It's just that we're so suspicious of everything.
Strange guy.
Why?
Well, to come here this way after all these years, as if nothing had happened.
Why not? What can be done about it?
I feel I have to say something.
Well, what can you say?
You think I ought to just take the money and shut up, huh?
There's no point in going backward.
You seem to have forgotten everything. I don't mean just like right now. I mean, look, when we talk about the pension, it's not only the pension we're after, is it?
Well, why bring that up now?
I'm not taking this money unless I talk to
You
him.
just can't bear the thought that he's decent. I hate to say it, but that's all it is.
I can't bear that he's decent.
Look, you throw this away, you gotta explain it to me. You can't go on blaming him or the system or God knows what else. You're free, and You can't make a move, and that's what's driving me crazy. Look, you take this money, or I'm washed up. Just because you're stuck, it doesn't mean I have to be.
Oh, boy. Boy, we got a tiger in there. What is this between you two? Did you know him before?
No, why? What do you say?
Well, he's still trying to buy it outright. He acts as though you added 5 years to his life just by calling him up.
That's fine, I don't mind.
Oh, sure, that's fine. That's all right. We don't understand each other, do we?
I am a little confused, yes.
About what, Bill? Come on, we'll all be dead soon.
All right. When I called you Monday and Tuesday and again this morning,
But I've already explained that.
but I don't make phone calls just to pass the time of day. Your nurse made it sound like I was some kind of pest. It's humiliating.
I'm terribly sorry. She shouldn't have done that.
I know, but I can't believe she takes that tone all by herself.
Oh, no, she's often that way. But I have never referred to you like that. Believe me, will you? I'm terribly sorry. It's just that I've been overwhelmed with work. That's all it is.
I see. You asked, so I'm telling you.
Yes, and you should. But don't misinterpret that. Now, about this tax thing. He said he'd be willing to make the deduction $25,000. And if you like, I'd be perfectly willing for you to keep the whole amount I'd be saving.
$12,000?
Well, whatever it comes to, you must be nearing retirement now, aren't you?
Well, yes, he's past it, but he can't decide what to do.
Oh, well, then it would come in handy, wouldn't it? Well, look, Dick, I don't need it, that's all there is. Well, look, I almost called you up a dozen times this past year.
About what? Why?
Look, don't be suspicious.
I'm just trying to figure this out, Walter.
Good. Yes, all right. I just felt it was time we got to know each other.
I called a couple of times. Must have been 3 years ago about the furniture.
I was sick.
Because I left a lot of messages.
I was quite sick. I was hospitalized.
Well, what happened?
I wrote down.
I had no idea.
I'm only starting to pick up the pieces, Esther. I was out of commission for almost 3 years. But I'm almost thankful for it. Now, I've never been happier.
Well, you seem altogether different.
Oh, I think I am, Esther. I live differently. I think differently. All I have now is a small apartment. I sold all my nursing homes.
What nursing homes?
Oh, I used to own 3 nursing homes. There's big money in the aged, you know. Helpless, desperate children trying to dump their parents up. There's nothing like it. But 50% of my time now is spent in city hospitals. And I never felt more alive. I do medicine, and that's it. But not that I don't soak the rich occasionally, but only enough to get by on.
Really? That must be really great, Walter.
Look, Vic, I wish we could talk for weeks. There's so much I want to tell you. I never used to have friends. You probably know that. But I do now. I have good friends. The damn thing happens so gradually. You start out wanting to be the best. And there's no doubt that you do need a certain fanaticism. There's so much to learn and so little time to learn it until after a while you eliminate everything extraneous, including people. And then after a while you find out that not only have you been specializing in something, something's been specializing in you. You become a kind of instrument that cuts money out of people. And after a while it drives you crazy. Power will do that, I mean, you think because people are afraid of you, they love you, even that you love them. And it all comes down to fear. One night I found myself in the middle of my living room, dead drunk, with a knife in my hand, getting ready to kill my wife.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, and I about did it too. But there's one virtue in going nuts. Provided you survive, of course. And that's what you get to see the terror. No, I don't mean the screaming kind, but the slow daily fear you call ambition and cautiousness and piling up the money. And you know, that's what I've wanted to tell you for some time now, Vic, is that you helped me understand that in myself.
I did?
Yes, because of what you did. You know, I could never understand it. After all, you were the better student. And to stick with a job like that, well, it just all seemed, you know, it wasn't until I got sick that I realized that you made a choice.
A choice? How?
You wanted a real life, and that's an expensive thing. It costs. I'll be frank with you, Vic. I didn't return your phone calls this past week because I was afraid. You know, I've searched for so long for a concept of myself, and I was afraid I couldn't make it believable to you. But I'd like to try. You see, I came to the point where I dreaded my own work. Finally, I just couldn't cut anymore. You know, there are times when if you leave a person alone, he may live a year or two, where going an operation might kill him. And the decision is almost, not always, but often, arbitrary. And the odds are okay, provided you think the right thoughts or don't think at all, which I managed to do till then. You see, I ran into a cluster of misjudgments. There were 3 cases that other men had diagnosed as inoperable, and I lost all 3. Quite suddenly, the whole prospect of my motives flashed before me. Why? Why had I taken risks that other competent men had declined? And of course, the quick answer is to do the impossible, shame the competition. Then I saw something else, and it was terror. Dead center, controlling my mind, my hands, my ambition for over 30 years. Terror of what? Terror of it ever happening to me, as it happened to him. Overnight, for no reason at all, to be degraded and thrown down. You understand what I'm talking about, don't you? We're both running from the same thing, Vic. I wanted to be tops, but what that was unreachable. I ended up in a swamp of success in bank books. You on civil service. But the difference is that you never hurt anybody to defend yourself. And you know, I've learned to respect that in you, Victor. All you wanted to do was make yourself useful.
Well, I think it's wonderful, Walter, that you've come to such an understanding of yourself.
Esther, you know, when I was in the hospital, for the first time since we were kids, I began to feel like a brother, in the sense that we shared something. And, you know, now I feel that I would know how to be friends.
Well, that's really nice, Walter. I'm glad of that.
Look, that's why you're still so married. That's a very rare thing now. And that's why your boy is doing so well. Because you led a real life. But you understand that better than I.
Sometimes. I don't know what I know.
Don't doubt it, dear. Believe me, you are very fortunate people. You understand that, don't you?
I think so.
It's not as easy as you make it sound, Walter.
Look, I've got a wild idea. I know it's going to sound absurd to you, but I wish you'd think about it before you dismiss it. I take it you haven't decided what to do with yourself now that you're retiring?
I'm still thinking. I'll decide one of these days.
Could I make a suggestion?
Sure.
You know, we're interviewing people for the new wing at the hospital. It's sort of a liaison position between the scientists and the board. And it's occurred to me sometimes that you might fit in there.
Well, that would be wonderful.
What could I do there, though?
Well, the position is rather fluid at the moment, but there are openings for people with a background in science who...
I have no degree, Walter.
But you had analytical chemistry and a lot of math and physics, if I recall, and if you thought you needed it, you could take a few evening classes. You know, I think you have enough background. How do you feel about that?
I'd like to know more about it, sure.
Well, I think it would be wonderful, Walter, if he could work in science. That's all he's ever really wanted.
I know, Esther. You know, it's a pity that you never went on. Look, Dick. It's really simple. I'm chairman of the committee. I could set everything up.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, sister. About the heart. If you make me a straight out-and-out sale, I'd be willing to go another $50.
Well, you're getting warmer.
Oh, I'm a fair person, so you don't have to bother with the appraisal and deductions, all right? But don't rush. I'll wait. I'm at your service.
Where in the world did you find him?
That's wonderful! He made it all ethical, didn't he? Look, Vic, will you come by?
I'm not sure I know what you want, Walter.
Well, I don't think that's being very fair, is it?
What's fair? We're talking about some pretty big steps here.
You know, I had just hoped that we could take one step at a time. You know, it's very complicated between us, I think. And I thought maybe we just might be able to...
You can understand it would be a little confusing, Walter.
What's confusing? This is amazing, Vic. You know, after all these years, you just can't expect to settle everything in one conversation, can you? I just thought that with a little goodwill, maybe we could... Oh, what the hell? Go ahead and get what you can out of the old man. I just don't want any of it. I'm sorry, Esther. It was nice seeing you again. Maybe I'll talk to you again, Vic. Good luck.
Walter?
I just can't accept this resentment. I mean, it baffles me. I don't understand it. I just wanted to let you know how I feel, Vic.
It's not resentment, Walter.
It's all a little fantastic, that's all. I haven't cracked a book in 25 years. How do I walk into a research laboratory?
Walter seems to think you have the background.
I know less science than most high school kids, Esther. And physics yet. Good God, Walter, where have you been?
But I'm sure you could make a place for yourself.
What place? Running papers from one office to another?
You've got to be kidding.
Why? Pretty soon my being your brother isn't going to mean a whole lot, is it? I've been walking a beat for 28 years. I'm not qualified for anything technical. What is this all about, Walter?
Why do you keep asking what it's all about? I've been perfectly honest with you.
I don't think you have.
Why? What have I done?
When you say what you said a few minutes ago,
What did I say?
how it's a pity that I didn't go on with science.
What's wrong with that? Oh, come on now. But I feel that. I've always felt that.
There used to be a man sitting in this chair. Don't you remember that?
Yes, very well. I sent him money every month.
You sent him $5 every month.
I could afford $5, but what does that got to do with you?
What's it got to do with me?
Yes, I don't see that.
Walter, where was the rest of his life supposed to come from?
Why did it have to come from anywhere? He wasn't sick. He was perfectly fit. He could have gone to work.
Work in 1936 with no skill, no money, no...
Then he could have gone on welfare. What was he, some sort of exiled royalty? My goodness, what did 150,000 other people do in 1936? My God, Nick, he would have survived. You ought to know that by now, don't you?
Esther, I've had enough of this. It's the same thing all over again. Let's get out of here.
Vic, please. I'm not trying to run him down. I loved him in many ways.
Victor, maybe you ought to talk about it.
It's all pointless. The whole thing doesn't matter to me.
He exploited you. Doesn't that matter to you?
Let me get one thing straight, Walter. I am nobody's victim.
No, that's what I've been trying to tell you. I'm not trying to condescend.
Yes, you are. Would you be standing here now if I made a pile of money somewhere? I'm sorry, Walter. I can't take that. I made no choices. The icebox was empty. The man was sitting here with his mouth open. I didn't start this, Walter. But when you talk about making choices, there's something I have to say. Just because you want things a certain way doesn't make them that way.
All right. How do you see it then?
Walter, look, you've been sick. Why bring all this up now?
Because it's important to me.
But it's all over the dam. Just
Look, Victor, I think he's come to you in good faith. I don't know why you can't consider his offer.
I said I would think about it.
You know you're turning it down. I mean, what can be so dreadful about telling the truth? Can it be any worse than this?
What truth?
Excuse me?
Oh, for God's sake, no.
I just didn't want you to think I wouldn't make the appraisal. I will. I'll do it.
Would you just leave us alone, please?
What do you want from him? He's a policeman. I'm a dealer. He's a doctor. He's a policeman. So what's the good? You'll tear it to pieces.
Victor, one of us has got to leave this room.
Please, Esther, let me. Doctor, take my advice. Stop it. What can come of this? In the first place, if you take the deduction, how do you know in 2-3 years they wouldn't come back to you whereby they disallow it? I don't have to tell you the federal government is not reliable. Why, I understand you want to be sweet to him. That can be 2-3 years before you know how sweet they're going to be to him. So in other words, what I'm trying to bring out, my voice, is that
You want the furniture.
Esther, if I didn't want the furniture, I wouldn't buy it. But what can they settle here? It's still up to the federal government, don't you see? If they can't settle nothing, they should stop it right now. Now do what I tell you. I'm no fool.
You know, maybe he has a point, Vic. Why don't you go ahead and sell it to him, then? Maybe we can sit down and talk sometime. Can I call you?
Sure.
You're both fantastic. We're giving this furniture away because neither one of you can say the simplest things. You're incredible, both of you.
It's not quite that easy.
What the hell? Let me say it then. Walter, when he came to you for that $500 he needed to finish his degree, look, it's one of the things that's coming between you, isn't it? Well, maybe Walter can straighten it out. I mean, good God, is there never to be an end? Because it stunned him, Walter. I mean, he hadn't the slightest doubt that you'd loan it to him. And when you turned him down...
Esther, he didn't feel at the time that he...
That's the way you told me. Just, please, let me finish. You already had the house in Rye, didn't you? I mean, you were perfectly well established, weren't you?
Esther, he didn't feel he...
No, I could have spared the money. It was despicable, but I don't think I can leave it quite at that. We've never talked about this before. I think maybe we have to now. You see, 2 or 3 days after you came to see me, I called to offer you the loan.
Where did you call?
Here. I talked to Dad. I knew I'd acted badly, and I just...
You didn't act badly yet.
Oh, it was ferocious. Can we talk about this later? I wasn't prepared to go into all this. What the hell? When I called, Pops told me that you joined the force. And I told him then, I said, you mustn't allow him to do a thing like that. I said, you had a good brain, and with a little luck you could make something of yourself in science. I told him that it was all a waste, etc. And his answer was, Victor wants to help me. I can't stop him.
You told him you were ready to give me the money.
Okay. You remember the helplessness in his voice back then, with Mother recently gone and the bottom shot out from under him?
Let me understand this, Walter. You told him...
Look, there are conversations, aren't there? And looking back, it's impossible to explain why you said or didn't say something. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just trying to make myself understood, if that's possible. You see, you all seem to need each other more than I needed them, to the point where I used to blame myself for a lack of feeling. So when he told me that you wanted to help, I felt that it would be wrong for me to step in and come between the two of you. It was like I was interfering.
He never mentioned that you offered the money at.
Look, all I'm trying to convey is that I was never indifferent. That's the main point. I did call here to offer you the money, but he made it impossible. Don't you see that?
I see.
Do you?
Yes.
Why don't you say what you think? It's absurd to go on like this. What do you want to say here?
All right. I feel it was all very convenient for you.
That's it?
Sure, why not? I mean, you didn't give me the money. I mean, if you thought Dad meant so much to me, and I guess he did, then why would $500 break us apart? It would have just let me go on to finish school, that's all. It doesn't make any sense, Walter.
What makes sense?
You didn't give me the money because you didn't want to.
It's that simple?
Sure, why not? I mean, we do what we want to do, don't we? You didn't give me the money because you didn't want to. If you want to help somebody, you do. If you don't, you don't. Well, why is that so astonishing? And why are you bringing this all up now?
Because don't you feel the need to heal anything?
I wouldn't mind that, but what does this heal, Walter?
Well, I think he's being perfectly clear, Victor. He's asking for your friendship.
By offering me a job at $12,000?
Yes, why not? What else? What more can I offer you?
Why do you have to offer me anything? It sounds like I have to be saved or something.
Look, I just felt there was work that you could do that you might enjoy.
I haven't got the education, Walter. What are you talking about? You can't walk in with one splash and wipe out 28 years. There's a price people pay. I've paid it. It's all gone. Just like you paid, didn't you? You've got no wife, no family. You're rattling around all over the place. Can you go home and start all over again? This is where we are. Right here, right now. And as long as we're talking, Walter, I have to tell you that this is not what you say in front of a man's wife.
Why? What have I said?
We don't need to be saved, Walter. I've done a job that has to be done, and I think I've done it right. And you talk about changing your attitudes. Well, Jesus, kid, I can't see what's changed.
I want to go, Victor.
No, he said certain things that I don't think I believe them this way.
What makes the difference?
Because you don't seem to understand anything anymore. What are you trying to tell me? That it was all unnecessary? Is that it? Because that's all I get out of it.
I guess it's just all impossible.
What do you want, Walter? What do you want?
I just wanted to be useful, that's all. I've learned some painful things, but it's not enough to know. I wanted to act on what I know.
Act in what way?
I just felt that I could be of some help. Why live to repeat the same mistakes over and over again? I just didn't want to let the chance go by as I let it go by before. But if this is as far as you can go with me, then that's to your own detriment.
Like I did before, Walter? Is that what you mean?
Well, yes, that's what I meant.
That's what I thought. You see, there's one thing about being a cop. You have to listen to what people say to you. Because if you don't hear straight, you could end up with a knife in your back. In other words, I dreamed up our whole problem.
Look, Vic, my $500 is not what kept you from your degree. You could have left Pop at any time. He was perfectly fit.
And 12 million unemployed, what was that, my neurosis? I hypnotized myself to scrounge the outer leaves of lettuce from the Greek restaurant on the corner. The good parts we could cut out a rotten grapefruit.
Look, I'm not trying to deny that.
We were eating garbage here, Buster!
Look, what's the point?
Because you don't seem to understand anything anymore. What are you trying to do? Turn this all into a dream? And perfectly fit. What about the go into the street.
Victor, he's gone now.
Don't tell me he's gone now. He was here then and the system broke down. Did I invent that?
But it's all different now.
What's different now? Take a walk in the street with your eyes open. We're damned already holding the city together. What do you mean it's different? I'm on the sidewalk all day. I don't have time to read propaganda. When it blows again, you'll be thankful for a roof over your head. How can you say that to me? I could have left him with your $5 a month. I'm sorry, you can't brainwash me. If you've got a hook stuck in your mouth, you don't come to stick it into mine. You want to make up for things? You don't come around to make fools out of people. You had an obligation here and you walked. You can go, I'll send you your hat.
Victor, if you could reach beyond your anger, there's something I'd like to tell you. I should have said it years ago, but I tried. When you came to see me for the money, you remember I told you then, I said, ask Dad for the money? Remember? I said that because he had money left after the crash.
What are you talking about?
He had nearly $4,000.
When?
When they were eating garbage here.
How did you know that?
Because he asked me to invest it for him.
Invest?
Yes. Shortly before he sent you to me for the loan. That's why I never sent him any more than I did. And if I'd had the strength of my convictions, I wouldn't have sent him anything.
He actually had it in the bank?
Look, Vic, that's what he was living on basically until he died. What we gave him wasn't enough, you know that.
But he had those jobs.
They meant very little. Believe me, he lived on his money. I told him back then that if he would put you through school, that I would contribute properly. But here he had you running from job to job to feed him. I'd be damned if I was going to sacrifice what he was holding out on you. You understand that, don't you? Look, kid, it doesn't do any good to get angry now. You know how frustrated he was that he'd never earn anything anymore? There was just no reassuring him.
He saw I was supporting him, didn't he?
Sure, but for how long?
What do you mean? He could see I wasn't walking out.
I know. But he felt you would have sooner or later.
He was waiting for him to walk out.
Well, might as well say that, yes.
When do I believe what I see?
He was terrified, dear. Not that he wasn't grateful to you, Vic, he was, but he just couldn't understand it. I might as well say it myself. I never understood that you would go that far. Certainly you see how extreme a thing that was, Victor, to stay with him all those years, and at such cost to you.
He sees it.
Look, Vic, I know we could work together, and I'd love to try. What do you say?
Why did you tell me he had that kind of money?
But I did when you came to see me for the loan.
To ask Dad?
Yes.
It was senseless to say that to me, Walter. Would I have come to you if I'd known that he had...
Now, just a minute.
No. It's kind of insulting. I'm not 5 years old. What am I supposed to make of this? You knew he had that kind of money. And you came here many times. And both of you sat here. And you said nothing. Watching me walk around in this suit and you said nothing.
Look, you knew he had something.
What do you want, Walter? What do you want?
All I can say is that I wouldn't have sat around here eating garbage with that staring me in the face. Even back then, it was worth a couple of $100 at least, maybe more. Your degree was right there at the very least. But if you want to go on with this fantasy, you just go right ahead. God knows I've had a few of my own.
Fantasy?
It's a fantasy, Victor. Your father was penniless and your brother a son of a bitch, and you played no part in it at all. You know, I told you then to ask Dad because you could see right in front of your face that he had some money. You knew it then, and you certainly know it now.
You mean if he had a few dollars left?
What do you mean a few dollars?
I didn't know that he had...
But you knew he had something.
I didn't say that.
Well, what are you saying? I'm trying to understand you, Victor. You're telling me that you knew he had money left?
Not $4,000.
Not enough to get by.
I couldn't nail him to the wall, could I? He said he had nothing.
But you knew better.
I don't know what I knew.
It's all a farce. It's all a damn farce. You put us in a furnished room so you could send him part of your pay. And even after we were married, you want sending him money? To put off having children, to live like mice, and all the time you knew? I'm trying to understand you.
Stop it! You can't leave it all out like this! The man was a beaten dog, ashamed to walk the street. How do I demand his last buck?
You're still going to go on saying that, huh? He had $4,000. It was all an act. Beaten dog, he was a calculating liar. In your heart, you knew it. No wonder you're paralyzed. You haven't believed a word you've said all these years. We've been lying away our existence, down the sewer, day after day after day, to support a miserable, calculating liar. No wonder it all seemed like a dream to me. It was a damn nightmare. It was all unreal, and I let it go by. And I'm not going to watch it one more day. I'm not ready to die.
This isn't true either, Esther.
We are dying. That's what's true.
All right. I'll tell you what happened. I faced him with it. Not that I faced him with it, I just told him, Walter said to ask you.
And then what happened?
He laughed. And that's when I knew. Because it was that kind of laugh. But it could be a different kind, like some wild joke, because we were eating garbage here. And I went out over to Bryant Park, behind the public library, and the grass was covered with men, like a big open-air flophouse. Not bums. Some of them still had shiny shoes, new hats. Businessmen. Lawyers, skilled mechanics, which I'd seen 100 times, but I finally saw it. There was no mercy anywhere. One day you're head of the household sitting at the head of the table, the next you're shit overnight. And I tried to figure out that laugh. How could he be holding out on me if he loved me?
Loved.
He loved me, Esther. He just didn't want to end up on the grass, that's all. It's not that you don't love somebody, it's that you've got to survive. We know what that's like, don't we? We do what we have to do. What else are we talking about here? If he did have something left, it would...
If he had?
What does that change, Esther? Just what does that change? I know I'm talking like a fool, but what does that change? He couldn't believe in anybody anymore, and it was tearing me apart. He kicked him in the face. My mother. The night he told us he was bankrupt. It was right here on this couch. She was dressed up for some affair. She had her hair done up with long earrings, and he was in a tuxedo. And he told us to sit down. And he told us it was all gone. And she vomited. And she just kept on vomiting like 35 years coming up. All over his arms, his hands, and he just sat there letting it dry in his hands, stinking like a sewer. And a look came onto his face. I'd never seen a man look like that before. What's the difference what you know? Do we do everything we know? Not that I approve of it, but it was idiotic of me. Nobody has to tell me that. But you're brought up to believe in one another. You're filled full of that crap, and you can't help trying to keep it going. And I just thought that if you could see that somebody was still on his side,
Yes,
that I could keep it from falling apart. I can't explain it.
That's, that's not it, Vic. You see that, don't you? It's not that at all. You see that, don't you?
What?
Is it really that something fell apart? Were we really brought up to believe in one another? We were brought up to succeed, weren't we? That's why he respected me so much and not you. What fell apart? What was there to fall apart? Was there ever any love here? When he needed her, she vomited. And when you needed him, he laughed. What fell apart? It's not that anything fell apart here. It's that there was nothing here to fall apart. That's what was unbearable.
Who can ever face that, Walter?
But you have to. What you saw behind the library that day, kid, was not that there was no mercy in this world, but that there was no love in this house. There was no loyalty.
Except his.
Esther, it was all just a straight financial arrangement. That's what was unbearable. And you proceeded to wipe it out.
Wipe out?
Vic, I've been in this box. I wasted 30 years protecting myself from that catastrophe. And I only got out when I realized there never was any catastrophe. There never had been. They were never lovers. She said herself hundreds of times that her marriage ruined her musical career. I saw that nothing fell here, and he doesn't follow me anymore with that vomit on his hands. I don't search high and low for some sort of betrayal anymore. My life belongs to me now, and I'm not afraid to risk believing someone. All I ever wanted to do was science, but I invented an efficient, disaster-proof moneymaker. You were always afraid of the sight of blood. And what do? You march right into the most violent profession there is. We invent ourselves to wipe out what we know. You invented a life of self-sacrifice, a life of duty. But what never existed here cannot be upheld. You were not upholding anything. You were denying what they were and denying yourself. And that's all that's standing between us now, Vic. An illusion. That I kicked them in the face and you must uphold them against me. But what I saw then is what you're seeing now. There was nothing here to betray. I'm not your enemy. It's all an illusion, Vic, and if you could just walk through it, we could meet. We're brothers. It's like we're two halves of the same guy. It's like we just can't move forward alone. Don't you see that, Vic?
Walter, I want to trust you. I do. There are days when I can't even remember what it is that I have against you, and it hangs in me like a rock. I see myself in the store window. My hair is going, and I'm on the street, and I don't know why. You can go crazy when all the reasons disappear, when you can't even hate anymore.
That's because it's all unreal, Victor. Don't you see that?
Then give me something real, Walter.
What can I give you?
I'm not blaming you now. I'm asking you. I can understand you walking out. I wished 1,000 times I'd done it myself. But to come here through all these years, knowing what you knew and saying nothing.
And if I said now that, if I said I did have some wish to hold you back, what would that give you now?
Is that what you wanted, Walter? Tell me the truth. Is it what you wanted?
All I wanted was the freedom to do my work. Does that mean I stole your life? You made those choices, Victor, and you have to face that.
But what do you face, Walter? What do you face? You're not turning me into a 50-year-old mistake. We have to go home when you leave. We have to look at each other. What do you face, Walter?
I've offered you everything I know how.
I would know if you came to offer me something. I would know that, Walter.
He doesn't want the truth. He wants a monster.
You came for the old handshake, didn't you? The okay, and you end up with the job, the career, the money, and the respect, and the best thing of all, the thing that nobody can tell you so that you believe it, that you're one hell of a guy and you never harmed anybody in your life. Well, you're not gonna get it! Not till I get mine!
And what about you, Victor? You never had any hatred for me? You never had any wish to see me destroyed? To destroy me with this saintly self-sacrifice, this mockery of sacrifice? What will you give me, Victor?
I don't have it to give you, Walter, and you don't have it to give me. And there's nothing to give. I see that now. I just didn't want him to end up on the grass, that's all. And he didn't. That's all it was. I couldn't work for you, Walter. I can't. I don't trust you.
Vengeance. Right down to the very end. He is sacrificing his life to vengeance.
Nothing was sacrificed, Walter.
To prove with your failure what a son of a bitch I am. To hang yourself in my doorway then and now.
Please, Walter, just leave him. Don't say any more.
Quit. You quit. The both of you. You just lay down and quit. And that's the long and short of all your ideology. It's just all envy. And to this moment, you haven't got the guts to face it. Well, look, you're a failure. But your failure does not have any moral authority with me. I work for what I made, and there are people walking out there who'd be dead if I hadn't. Oh, he was smarter than both of us. He knew exactly what you wanted, and he gave it to you. He killed our mother, and he killed you, but he will not kill me. Not now and not then. He will never kill me. Go ahead, you old butt. Rob them blind. They lie. You will never again make me ashamed.
Walter! Walter! Let him go. What did you do?
Whatever you see, you believe what you see.
What then?
Oh, no, it's wonderful. It's probably what keeps you going. I was 19 years old when I first came up those stairs, if you can believe that. And he had a brother who was the cleverest, most wonderful young doctor in the world. Or soon would be, somehow, some way. And there sat a sweet, inoffensive old gentleman, always waiting for the news to come on. And next week, some men we never saw or heard of are going to come and smash it all apart and take it all away. Why is finality always so unreal? You know, there was a time when I thought that all he really wanted was to talk to his brother. And if they could, but he's come and he's gone. And I still believe it. Isn't that terrible? I keep thinking there's going to be one more little step and some kind of crazy forgiveness will come and lift up everybody. When do you stop being so foolish?
I had a daughter. She should rest in peace. She took her own life. And every night I lay down and go to sleep, and I see her clear. I see you. But if some miracle happened and she came to life, what would I say to her? So come, let's settle it now. So you got there 7, so I'm giving you 8, 9, 10, 11, and there's a 50 for the heart. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of work here tonight.
We can still make the picture if you like.
Okay? Oh, don't bother. Goodbye, Mr. Solomon.
Goodbye, dear. And I like that suit. It's a beautiful suit.
Thank you.
When will you be taking it away?
If I live, first thing in the morning.
I'll be back for the soup later. And it's the foil and the gauntlets.
Don't worry, I wouldn't touch it.
I'm glad to have met you, Solomon.
Likewise, and I want to thank you.
For what?
Well, who would ever believe that I would dodge such a thing again? But go. I got a lot of work to do.
Well, good luck with it.
Good luck, you never know till the last minute, boy.
Right. Bye-bye.